Hey everyone. Recently, I covered the sad story of the last few months of the last male member of the Northern White Rhino species. Their numbers had been dwindling for many years, until recently, where there was just one male and two females left. The male died after seeming to be on the recovery from a surgery to remove infected tissue in his leg. Now, the two females are still alive, but obviously they can't reproduce without sperm from the male. It's then pretty good news to hear that scientists were able to extract and preserve some of the sperm from the last few male rhinos before they died. And now this sperm is being used to in vitro fertilize the eggs of the closely related Southern White Rhino. Now this will create hybrid rhinos, hybrids between the Northern and Southern White Rhino species. And having a sizable number of healthy hybrid offspring will give researchers more elbow room to play with the genetics to try to recreate a pure Northern White Rhino. If they can pull this off, they'll save a species that's on the knife's edge of extinction. The researchers on this project have published a study about their most recent achievements, successfully fertilizing the Southern White Rhino eggs with Northern White Rhino spermatozoa. Reporters from ResearchGate were able to interview two of the lead authors of the study, Thomas Hildebrandt and Cesar Galli. The interviewers asked some important questions, and they got some pretty neat answers. When they asked what had been achieved, Cesar Galli said, quote, "For the first time, we took an egg collected from an SWR female through maturation, fertilization, and culture to the blastocyst stage, where it can then be cryopreserved, frozen, or used to make stem cells. Embryos at this stage have a 50% chance to deliver a baby when implanted into the uterus." Unquote. When asked about the challenges, Hildebrandt explained that almost every step of the process was difficult. He says, quote, "It is very difficult to pick up the oocytes from rhinos. We are the only ones on this planet who can do so. Then the transport into the laboratory can harm the cells." Unquote. He also explains how standard methods use horse gametes, and that these methods are clearly not applicable to rhino gametes. And he also mentions how the actual act of applying sperm to egg in controlled laboratory conditions is, quote, "very fragile and complicated." Unquote. Yeah, I imagine it is. They talk about the rhinos for a bit, and they discuss how the age of the surviving females means that they have to act fast to extract and preserve their eggs. They called it a Mission Impossible type job. Hildebrandt thinks that they can realistically save the Northern White Rhino, but he concedes that the work will have to be, quote, "accompanied by an induced pluripotent stem cell approach to have the best possible genetic variation for the founder population." Unquote. The last question that they were asked was what this study means for conservation efforts in a more general sense. Galli said, quote, "It means that there is an option that can be used when the conditions and the numbers of an animal become critical. This approach can be translated to other mammals with the necessary research and development." Unquote. Hildebrandt said, quote, "This study means that we have a tool to bring back doomed species. But bringing them back only makes sense if society is willing to accept these species and provide them with protected habitat." Unquote.